see Madhu Ben, Parmila Ben, Rachna Ben on time, including Ami Ben. So, since you all are on time, Baba's Murli is also basically on time today. Today, it's a very special Murli where we see that Baba has given practical aspects of how children should be maintaining time. For me, this is one of the main Murlis. There are some Murlis which we want to read again and again, which we can't keep it away. So a lot of Murlis of Babas are on values, exploration of different aspects of Gyan, of Dharnas, of Seva. But this is a very special Murli on how to do Purusharth, how to manage time. So today will be a very special kind of conversation which Baba would be doing with all of us. And he wants us to look at us managing time just like VIPs do. They might be doing the time management on gross things, but Baba wants us to do time management on us being able to keep up our awake stage. So beautiful Murli. I'm sure all of us would enjoy. Just go with the flow. Don't miss the flow. I'll be a little slow, but yeah, let's try to understand in Baba's own words what he has to say. I believe my screen is visible, and let me start reading the Murli. So this is the Murli of 18th of June 1970. The method of using a timetable in order to progress. Okay, so as we read the Murli, also check what kinds of timetable we have been using till now for spiritual progress, and how much was it beneficial for us. Were we really able to keep up to the timetable, or were we not able to sustain it for too long? What could be the reasons? Just introspect on these aspects for a couple of minutes, and then let's try to match our understanding with what Baba has us for. So let's start. Bapdada has come into the corporeal form, the Avyakt, in 1 second. In the same way, can the children become Avyakt form corporeal in 1 second? So the first question is basically crux of the Murli. Why we need to do the Purusharth, the timetable, and all of that. Baba will be exploring that. But interestingly, Baba has mentioned in the Murli the first statement that he wants us to become Avyakt form in 1 second. So again, as Baba always says, the last paper of all of the Brahmins would be of 1 second. So in 1 second, are we able to really focus the way we want our intellect to? How would we do that? How to do that practice? So that exploration Baba will be going to do ahead. Just as you open your mouth, he is giving a gross example. Baba is telling, just as you open your mouth when you wish and close it when you wish. In the same way, do you think you practice in such that you can make your intellect work when you wish and make it stop working when you wish? Although the organ of the mouth is gross and the intellect is much more subtle than that, do you have such practice of using your intellect in the same way when you want to and not using it when you don't want to? So very simple. If I ask all of you all to raise your hands up or raise your hands down, it will be very easy for us to do that gross thing. Baba has given the example of our mouth. So in the same way, can we do the exercise of intellect? Do you know this drill? If you have this practice firmly, you will be able to make your stage strong. What is needed is practice. The more firm practice we do, the more our stage would become strong. This is the method to make your stage progress. Many children have the thought, how can we progress? There can be progress with the right method. If you do not know the right method, there will not be progress. Today, Bab Dada is seeing both the progress and the method of each of you. What scene would Bab Dada have seen? Each one of you check and ask yourself, am I progressing? Many raised their hands. The majority was content with their progress. Okay, so the tool which Baba also uses sometimes, especially in this Murli, is first Baba asking us whether you all are doing self progress. Because Baba was checking. He was checking two things. One is the progress and one is the method. So obviously, children feel that we are progressing, so they might have raised their hands. But again, the perspective with which children raise their hand is seeing their past. So for example, if I am not doing anything and if I'm remembering Baba for 2 minutes, that is a progress. But Baba sees this in a very different context. Baba sees us in our complete stage. And from that stage, how far we are. If we are too far, that means we are not really progressing. So again, raising a hand whenever Baba asks us to introspect, the benchmark which we set for ourselves should be of the complete stage and not of the past. That's what Baba will be exploring in second paragraph. Acha, for how long do you remain in the Vyakt stage throughout the day? Baba is not asking about the point form, but for how do long you stay in the Vyakt stage? Bab Dada is asking you, keeping your perfect stage in front of him. Whereas you are thinking, keeping your past efforts in front of you. There is so much difference. At the present time, what is the main subject of your study? The main subject of your study is to maintain the awake stage for the maximum period. What is the main subject of studying? Is to maintain the awake stage for the maximum period. The result is very low in the main subject. The Baba is now telling the children the results. What are 1 or 2 hours of remembrance in front of the complete stage of staying in constant remembrance? So Baba wants us to be Smriti Swarup, that is constant remembrance, and not just 1 or 2 hours. So in front of constant remembrance, 1 or 2 hours of remembrance of Baba is nothing, right? Do you have the method in your intellect of creating your awake stage over a long period of time? If you have the method, then why isn't there any progress? Each of us know what exactly awake stage is. Baba has explored that in so many Murlis in 1969 and 70s as well. But then why isn't there a progress? What is the reason for this? Although the complete knowledge of the method is clear in your intellect, there is still one thing you do not know how to do, due to which there isn't any progress. Even though you do have knowledge of it, what is this aspect? Acha, today Babdada is telling you how to progress. The one aspect you do not know how to do this, whereas you know how to create expansion and go into expansion. It is the practice of packing up and merging the expansion that is lacking. Practice of packing up and merging the extraction that is lacking. This is the same thing which Baba mentioned in the first line. If I go to the first part of this Murli, become avyakt from corporeal in 1 second. That is what Baba was checking. And now he's exploring that why are we not able to do that? Because we lack the power of packing up and merging the expansion of that lacking. That was lacking. You know how to go into the expansion of knowledge, but the practice of merging the expansion of knowledge and becoming an embodiment of knowledge, the seed form is lacking. A lot of time is wasted by going into the expansion, and even thoughts are wasted. This is why the power that should be accumulating is not accumulating. Today, Baba is telling you what plan you should create for this. Who are the greatest of all in the entire world? Again, before telling any plan, Baba is wanting to, you know, he's just expanding our awareness of affirmation of Soma. So he's asking us, who are the greatest of all in the entire world? So people answered, we Brahmins. Then Baba asks the next question, what do the most important great people do? What methods do important people do of today adopt through which they achieve success in great tasks? So Baba is now comparing us with the great people, the so-called great people in the world. Obviously, they might be using some technique to achieve success in life. So Baba is asking us, what do they use? First of all, they set their time. They make their own timetable. The busier they are, the more they keep a timetable for every hour. Very simple. If we don't have any work, we might not keep the timetable. If we have little more work, we'll just plan our time that, okay, today morning I'll do this, afternoon I'll do this, evening I'll do this. The more busy I become, the more tasks I have on hand, I might not remember it. So I'll be preparing a timetable. More tasks I have, then probably each hour I will have to create. This hour I need to do so and so things, so and so things. I might have a checklist. So that's why Baba is telling us the busier they are, the more they keep a timetable for every hour. If they do not have a timetable, they will not be able to spend their time in a worthwhile way. If they don't use their time in a worthwhile way, they won't be success in their task. This is why important people of today make their timetable for every moment. They note everything down in their diary. Please note this statement. They note everything down in their diary. Since you Brahmins are the greatest of all, do you keep a timetable? This is one method. Just as those people make their timetable from the beginning of the day, in the same way, each of you should make a timetable at Amrit Vela of what you have to do throughout the day. He has given us even the timing. When should we be creating the timetable? And that is Amrit Vela. Just as a timetable for a physical task is created, in the same way, create a timetable for the progress of the soul. Do you understand? There is very little attention paid to and checking of this. Baba knows us that we don't keep much attention on this. Now create a timetable in the same way as those people make plans. Today, I have to finish these tasks. In the same way, today, I have to have this much percentage and this much time spent in a web stage. By doing everything according to the time, you will be able to carry out many tasks in one day. Many of us grumble, right? We can't do this seva, we don't have time. Uh, there are logic tasks, there are tasks for family, there are tasks for self. Hmm? We just keep on grumbling. I'm not telling about the group, but generally, we try to grumble and just tell that we don't have time. But by doing everything according to time, you will be able to carry out many tasks in one day. You might have seen some people who do so many tasks in one day. And how is that possible? The method which Baba mentioned above. If you do not have a timetable, you will not be able to carry out many tasks. So keep a diary for yourself. Okay. Baba is not asking to keep timetable in our mind. Many of us, including me, sometimes just tell Baba, today I'll be doing so and so things. But then if we plan that in the mind, it goes off probably. So Baba is asking us to keep a diary. Each statement which Baba makes, it definitely has a very deep meaning. So while reading or while analyzing, let's not do that very casually. Let's get into the crux and you can see that how much are we doing. Just as you have timetable for the physical things to be done in 1 hour, Baba is again granularizing the time to 1 hour. In the same way, note down the tasks for progress of the soul. Note down the tasks of progress. So he wants us to prepare a checklist. Make a plan. Then, just as you tick off the list of what is accomplished and what isn't, in the same way, note to what extent the plans you made were carried out in a practical form. Think about the reason why were not carried out, why they were not carried out in a practical form, and also think of a solution for it and continue to move forward. Very important. Today, I will definitely accomplish this. First of all, make a promise to yourself in this way. See, Baba has first told to plan, then he told us to practically make a checklist and tick off the things what we have done. But if you are not able to do, again, now Baba will be exploding. Don't get disheartened that, oh, so many tasks were pending. Baba is telling us, think of the reason they were not able to be carried out in a practical form and also think of a solution for it and continue to move forward. Because sometimes if you are not able to do, we think of a solution, but we forget it then. But Baba wants us to move on and he asks us to tell that today I will definitely accomplish this. Make such promise. For any tasks, first of all, a promise is made and then a plan is created. This is then it is carried out in practical form and then checking takes place as to whether or not something was done after has become practical. After checking whatever has happened in is past. After checking whatever has happened is the past. Then you keep a method for progress in the future. Just as you have created a weekly program for new students, in the same way you can make a weekly plan for progress of the soul. So along with hourly planning, Baba is also, he first told us to prepare plan at the beginning of Amrit Vela or throughout the day. And then he also asks us to prepare hourly tasks. So that is basically granularizing the planning. So even in Japan, they call it as a samurai technique, taking baby steps to achieve the progress. And now he asks us to prepare a weekly progress plan to analyze the progress of the soul. Because practical things in 1 hour, that is just a checklist. But how can we analyze the progress? That needs to be done on a weekly basis. Just as when you leave Madhuban, you renounce some things and fill yourself with other things. In the same way, renounce some things and fill yourself with other things every day. Only when you maintain this much attention will you be able to become perfect before time. See, what Baba is telling, it's not really impossible. It's not that difficult. But definitely that will be needing attention, right? Because all of us wants to become perfect. So only when you maintain this much attention will you be able to become perfect before time. If you become perfect according to the time, then there isn't so much attainment. You have to become perfect before time. When will you experience what perfection is? See, Baba is using this word perfection very thoughtfully. Has chosen this word. You have to experience here what constant, godly, supersensuous happiness is. Now we shall see how you make your timetable or weekly plan according to the discipline. The more sensible someone is, the more accurately he is able to carry out such tasks. The more sensible are Brahmins. Sorry, the most sensible are Brahmins. Brahmins are even more sensible than deities. To what extent you are sensible will be discerned from this. So again, Baba is putting on a hats of Soman. That people in Lokik world also, the more sensible people are, the more better they are able to plan. And we Brahmins are even sensible than the deities. Then definitely we should be creating a great plan, right? And that will be discerned from this. Together with having sense, you also have to learn how to extract the essence. The essence is very condensed, whereas that from which you extract the essence is a great expansion. So you need to have very good sense, and you must also know how to extract the essence. Extract the essence is again the first point which I mentioned in the Murli. Avyak stage in a second. Then in between he told power to pack up, and now he's telling the same thing, extracting the essence. Although some have a lot of sense, they do not know how to stabilize themselves in the form of the essence. He's using this word, stabilize themselves in the form of essence. So the practice of both is needed. What both things are needed? So having the sense also, and also stabilizing into the essence. You were told that you are the ones who carry out a nature cure. Nature means sanskar. When you are not able to make effort, you blame it on your nature. My nature is like that. You blame your nature and free yourself. But no, the task of all of you is to cure your nature. Those nature cure people also, those nature cure people make you stay on a fast. So, what do all of you have to do now? You have to go fast. That fast is basically starving fast. In naturopathy, healing is, fasting is healing. That is what they understand. And yeah, definitely that is really helpful. In the same way, to cure our nature of the soul, we have to go fast. You must not remain last. In order to go fast, you must stay on a fast. What fast must you stay on? Make a timetable. That from today, you will hold a fast for a particular aspect. So fast Baba is using in two sense. One is to move forward quickly. In order to move forward quickly, we might need to abstain from doing something, that is keeping a fast, maybe from old sanskars or whatever aspect we have in the chart, and that needs to be done. So Baba is obviously magician of using words, and that is how he has correlated. To go fast, we will need to take a fast by creating a timetable. Make a promise. Just as those people stay on a fast, in the same way, you must note down. He is always using this word note down. So many times he has used. On one of your weaknesses every day. Those people also keep a fast of the things that are harmful to them. So, in terms of efforts to stay on a fast of the things that are harmful to you. Then also check them. When people hold on a fast and they are not able to keep it, they eat something in between. Here too, some do the same thing because they have the habit from the path of devotion. They make a promise in the morning and they will not do something, and then as soon as the day begins, that promise is broken. Here too, some take a promise in the morning and then during the day say, such and such a problem came up, and so when this problem finishes, I will then do it. You must now finish that sanskar. Okay, so Baba also knows that even after preparing a chart, many of us would tell that Baba, we would be definitely following the chart, but such and such thing came up. Hence, we were not able to do. Let me start it again when such things go off. Baba tells no. You must now finish that sanskar. Learn how to merge and pack up. Again, he's focusing on that thing. We should be knowing the art of merging and packing up. You have to merge your old sanskars, make a promise, or stay on a fast of this. Important people have a program fixed in advance. You are the most important of all. So fix your program for 6 months. Okay, so now from weekly chart, he has also told us to prepare a 6-month program. I will definitely accomplish this task. I will definitely become this. When you have such faith in the intellect, you will become victorious. You have faith in the Father, but now carry out your tasks while having faith in yourself. And then there will be victory all the time. So Baba is telling, okay, you have faith on your Father. That's true. But now it's the time to carry out the tasks while having faith in yourself. So faith in Father goes along with faith in the self. And as we do the tasks, we will have victory all the time. Problems are nothing in front of victory. Then you will not feel a problem to be a problem. But again, one plays games with happiness. When a task is easy, you say, this task is just a game. For the right hand, that is, it is easy. So this will also become like a game for the intellect. बाएं हाथ का खेल है, that is a proverb in Hindi, which means it's an easy task. So this will also become a game of the intellect. Whatever we want, we can do. You would not be afraid in the game. Since you are the most important of all, create the highest stage of all. There are some important people who do not know how to maintain their importance. You must not become like them. We should be maintaining our importance. To the extent that you are important, accordingly, create an elevated stage and show everyone. Carry out a great task and show everyone. At least keep an aim for 8 hours. Baba is referring to the awake stage. Okay, so he's now again condensing, if not for 24 hours, maybe 8 hours we can have a aim, right? Baba is referring to the awake stage. It is not a big thing to create an awake stage for 8 hours. It is not a big thing to create an awake stage of the 8 hours. Find it. It's told by Baba. That means definitely it's true. Awareness of the awake means an awake stage. Why should there only be 2 hours of remembrance of the Father? If you had only 2 hours of remembrance of Baba, what would you do for the rest of the time? Do you have love for Baba or Maya? You would definitely make your sanskars the same as the one from you have love. That is, with whom you have a connection. Someone comes into connection with someone else on the basis of the harmony of their sanskars. So, if you have love for the Father and you even have a connection with him, then why are your sanskar not like his? In that case, Bab Dada would say that you have love for Maya. What would you say if you had love for Baba for 2 hours and love for Maya for 22 hours? Even while doing service, do not let go of your love and connection, because we have a reason that Baba, throughout the day we will have to do service. How can I remember you for 22 hours? But even while doing service, we can stay in love and connection of Baba, right? That is what Baba is mentioning. The stage of perfection comes by staying close. The stage of perfection comes by staying close. There is a song. Neither will he be separated from us, nor will we experience sorrow. Na wo humse juda hoge, na ulfat. There is a Hindi song, very old song. If you do become, if you do not become separated from one another, then how can your love be removed? So it should be constant. But because you are effort makers, Baba is giving you some margin. So make your diary with the aim of a minimum of 8 hours. Make a timetable and then Baba will see the result. Get your result verified from by your teacher every week and accumulate the result of every week and send it to Madhuban once a month. One more thing. Actually, the time is up. I'll just stop here. Uh, get your result verified by your teacher every week. So this is also important. What happens? We do maintain a chart, but if you don't have anyone to verify that, we will lose interest, because it is just us that we are maintaining chart. So this is another one good thing which Baba is mentioning. Whatever chart we maintain, just show it to our teacher, center teacher. Didi, I have planned this chart for the week and this is my progress. Please, sign it. And get the chart signed from the teacher. So that will help us more happy, and then we'll have a feel that, oh, next week also I have to maintain this chart, and next week also I will take a sign from my teacher, and that will help us build on the courage and motivation to prepare a chart. And not only to the teacher, then Baba says us accumulate the result of every week and send it to Madhuban once a month. So after 4 weeks, those chart needs to be sent to Madhuban. Okay, so I think we still have a lot of Murli. Okay, there is just little. I'll just quickly read it out before we start the conversation. The Brahmin teachers should be something. Can check everyone's diary every week to see what timetable they have made and to what extent they were successful in that. Then you should send a brief report to Madhuban every month. Now is not the time of carelessness. You have been making effort carelessly for a long time. Now, whatever has been done, Baba will then remind you of the slogan which you tell others. If not now, then never. अभी नहीं तो कभी नहीं. If you do not do something now, when will you do it? Who will not be able to do it? Sorry, you will not be able to do it at any other time. Therefore, remember the slogan. You can keep a different slogan for yourself in front of you every day. There is a slogan. Whatever actions I perform, others will see me, will do the same. See, this is one important technique which Baba is telling. You can keep a different slogan for yourself in front of you every day. Okay, so that can again be a theme of our Purusharth. One has already told, Abhi nahi to kab nahi. If not now, then never. So if I keep that theme of Purusharth for that day, I will be doing all the tasks very quickly. Another slogan he's referring to is whatever actions I perform, others will see me and do the same. So I will have constant attention on myself. So such slogans can be also kept for us in the chart every day. Keep another slogan in front of you the next day. Bab Dada has told you that success is your birthright. You have also been told we will die, but we will not be defeated. In the same way, keep a different slogan in front of you every day and put that slogan into a practical form. Then see how quickly you are able to make your awake stage. Okay, so I think let's stop here. Let's reflect on what we have read so far. for a minute, and then we can have sharings of what all we understood. How do we interpret Baba's Murli for ourselves? Okay, we can start sharing. So, who would like to go first? I hope you all could read the Murli or listen the Murli.
Om Shanti. The aspect about the timetable, maintaining a timetable is what I'm going to practice. And what Baba means with the timetable is that the way we make a timetable for the daily task, which all we need to complete, we note it down in diary, and we assign the priorities also, vital, essential, and desirable, or whichever way, ABC. Same timetable to be also we make to be made for the progress of the soul, and this timetable should be merged with the timetable of the physical task, so that because the time is limited, same time we are doing physical tasks, what Baba expects is that the progress of the soul also has to be merged with this physical task, and once both the timetables are merged, and then we are able to actually uh, prioritize and see how much progress we have done, both not only on the physical task level but also on the progress of the soul level also, and then we will be able to be perfect before time, both in terms of physical task as well as the progress of the soul. Om Shanti.
Okay.
Om Shanti, brother.
Yes, sister.
So it was a perfect Murli. If you don't mind, just for telling, just yesterday in the Avyaktavani, Baba signaled the time, told us give importance to time and talk, said keep your mind busy, and he told us become a #1 businessman and make a timetable. In fact, I was just thinking about it yesterday, and some of the seniors after the Murli, they said, make a timetable for yourself. I don't know what a coincidence we club have. Immediately today we are reading about timetable. It's a very perfect thing. I really liked the link. For me, timetable, yes, it's important because to give you a very practical example, I read the Sakar Murli, say after 1 or 2 hours, I try to catch the blessing. I think, what is this? I visualized the blessing, I did everything. Why it's not coming in my intellect? So I planned that every 1 hour or say every 2 hours, I am just going to read the outline of the Sakar Murli so that the blessing gets in my intellect. This is just one timetable which I had put in my mind for the Sakar Murli. Similarly, today Baba is talking about the Avyak stage, yes, which is important because he is signaling us the time. Pack up, merge expansion, forget but know to extract the essence. So how do I take the essence? Then he says for us, for that, every weakness I should note down. And if I do that, this attention and being close will bring about perfection. I think all these points, I'll keep myself in mind. I'll be proactive and try to really fix a timetable, which every day I'll change a little bit if it doesn't work. Om Shanti.
Wonderful. Anyone else would like to add something? I will not really ask that how many of us really prepare timetable which Baba wants us to. He has been reminding us on and off, but yeah, today since he has explicitly told about this, maybe we all can plan to choose that let that good day be today. If we have not really started, or if we were not able to continue ever in the past, let's today Murli be a benchmark, Murli for us, where we can decide to start something small. Timetable doesn't mean that we have to start with so many things in the list. We can start with some few pointers for ourselves, and gradually we can build upon. And interestingly, Baba has also given us ways to keep ourselves motivated, like sharing it with our teacher and sharing with Madhuban. So I think even while reading, I was thinking for myself that this is something even I was not doing, probably out of I feel that, oh no, why I should be giving the chart to seniors. Maybe that is not a trend followed at our center, but Baba is highlighting that this has been told by the Supreme. So maybe we can even plan to do that. This will make our regularity more, constant, more firm. So this was one takeaway for me.
Om
Arpit, then-
Shanti, brother. Yeah. Timetable. I was just listening to all of you and very impressed with all the resolutions that everyone is making with regard to timetable. But I must say that I do have this little weakness that I love making a timetable. Even from school days, we would make timetables. I have to study so much. I have to play so much. I have to spend so much time over here. And sometimes the timetables can be very tight, like there's not much pause within the timetables. And so you are not able to follow the timetable practically. I'm giving my own example. Maybe all of you are able to. And I realized over a period of time when I used to meditate and I used to ask God this question, actually, ask Baba this question, that how do you actually keep following these very rigid timetables that I've myself made? So I have nobody else to blame but my own self. And actually, I don't know. The answers that I would get was practically that, even the timetable has to be made in a very easy way. It has to be made in a way that you can follow. And when the timetable cannot be followed due to deviations, which could be actually from Baba's direction itself, there's a last minute requirement to do some service. There's a last minute, somebody needs your help, where you have to show empathy and love. And you couldn't follow that rigid timetable because you were doing something which was also equally important in the journey towards the Almighty, right? And then you start becoming easy about it and not so uh, self demotivating that I could not do this, I could not do that. I don't know. So I actually, and I'm not saying that what I'm saying is correct. I'm just giving a view. And I actually started reconciling with the fact that I'll only make a broad timetable. And as far as remembrance with Almighty goes, it has to be 24 into 7. So if everything that you do is supposed to be, the timetable should be that every moment you're only spending with Baba. And what you cannot, never mind, just try to come back. Keep coming back, keep coming back. And I have kind of let go of this too much of rigid timetable, because then you start feeling defeated and not victorious. Your energy drops. So I would rather go with the flow, remain in remembrance all the time, and use broad timetable, not very rigid. Sorry, but this is just my weakness I'm expressing. Om Shanti.
Yeah, very nicely mentioned. So again, when that's why Baba has told us, right, to prepare the timetable, and if you are not able to do, we need to check and change. So what really went wrong and how can we improvise? And another thing is like when we think of timetable, we think more of gross things that this needs to be done. Or but here Baba is mainly mentioning of being in the awake stage, and that, as you mentioned, has to be practiced 24/7. It is just that these 1 hours or these breakers, which otherwise also we call as traffic controls, this gives an opportunity to check, like in past hour, whatever tasks I have done. Because even if we get a last moment seva from some center and all, we will be doing that seva. But when it comes to mental state of mind, it is on to us to decide which state I have to be while doing that service, even if that is a deviation from the task which I have originally allocated myself for. So that stage, that kind of timetable, I think Baba is referring here, that how am I able to keep my mind into, I'm able to pack up from what I have done in the last hour, or maybe whatever gross things I'm doing, and I'm able to keep myself into the essence. And that is the Vyakt stage. So that once I am able to sustain that for a longer period of time, that is what is needed. So for example, if I see I got an opportunity to meet Asha Didi last week. So I just asked her that, Didi, you are meeting so many people throughout the day. And to meet her, I'm sure there are so many contingencies. She might be not really planning who would be coming to meet her daily, and who all people would be she giving how much time apart from the lecture schedules which she might be having. But she is still so light. She's still able to maintain that serenity which we always see. And that is where then she mentioned to me, she mentioned a lot of things. In the interest of time, I just mentioned a couple of points. So the essence of that was like she checks her mental state whenever she gets a time, whenever gap she gets after a couple of conversation, that while doing such things, while meeting anybody, what is the mental state of mind? What is she really thinking? And that is where then I could get the crux that it is not how busy we are, how easy we are while becoming while becoming busy. That is something which we need to check. And that can only happen once we have constant checking by way of timetable or by whatever method. Baba just also mentioned this, Murli. This is one method. There are even other methods probably. But yeah, that checking is needed. And after checking, change is also needed. So yeah. Anyone else? Kirjaben? Yeah.
Perfect, brother, what you said, that mental state. I have never felt till today that I could not do the things fixed, because I remember once in the center, as you said, they had told us about these 2 hours remembrance and all. And I found all of us sitting in remembrance. Didi just came and gave one person a seva. And I found that person just caught up with the seva and go. And when she noted in the diary, we had to note down this time to this time we wrote. That time she didn't write. So I asked her. She said, who said I went for service? I was doing my remembrance there, because it's not fixed. Even when I was there, my mental intent is you should not just fix yourself. Oh, I have to sit in this 2 hours. If anything happens, even if the world comes down, even if anything, no, it should only be that. So that flexibility, I remember in my early stages when I was there, I learned from a few souls. So even here, sometimes when you get up in the morning, I had fixed up a time, but at this age, sometimes what happens, your health, your everything, even though you sleep early, sometimes, that getting up isn't there. So I fixed for myself my time. I kept my alarm at, say, at about 3:20, first alarm. I couldn't get up. Then I had a second alarm, 3:30. Then I said, Baba, what is this? I'm just going up and setting out my alarm, but I'm not doing. Baba said, do one thing. When you get up, at least the second time, just get up. Just say, good morning, Baba, or just do something. I tried that. I could do it. So this way I make myself easy. And for me, time is eternal. I don't think it's 24 hours. I think whatever time I'm spending is my timetable. And that the back of everything, Baba is there. I keep the aim. As today, Baba said, your aim is Avyakt stage. So if that is that, I find easy. I have never feel I cannot follow the timetable. I find I'm very happy with what I'm doing, because in every nerve and everything of mine, I know it's just a Srimad and what Baba. So easiness and my mental contentment is what I keep in mind in following my timetable. Om Shanti.
Wonderful. So thanks for those beautiful sharings. This is very deep topic, and maybe on Sunday we could do more churning on this based on our experience. I'm sure all of us would be having a lot to share, because each of us are maintaining some kind of timetable. But yeah, the only catch is that we should not be very rigid, in the sense caught up by things. We have to be flexible, and the essence, we have to go into the essence, and that is our stage. It is not really how much seva we have done, but it is how the way we have done. I think that is what couple of us were trying to tell. So let us stay in remembrance for 2 minutes, and we will do a small drill.
Excuse
I will
me.
give you all some couple of places where you have to put your intellect to, and I'll keep on changing that after every 5 seconds, 5 to 10 seconds, and just see if you are able to jump your intellect from one task to another. Okay, if in case if you are not able to jump, it's okay, but yeah, let's try to do that. Let's try to put our intellect wherever we want to.
Excuse me, Praful Bhai. Before going towards meditation, can you do just an announcement for tomorrow's session?
Okay, yeah, tomorrow we have, good, thanks for reminding. Tomorrow we have session by Arif Bhai. Tomorrow, that is Sunday. So methods to become divine. This would be the topic, and he will be doing combined Murli Manthans of the Murli which we studied this week. That is Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So let's make sure that most of us try to attend his session. Arif Bhai is from, I believe, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, sorry. So let's stay in that remembrance. Let me focus at the center of my forehead. Let me go to the Paramdham in front of Baba. Let me jump to the Diamond Hall, experiencing Avek Bab Dada, Murli. Let me go to the Shanti Stambh. I go to my temple, worship worthy stage. I'm back into Baba's room at my center. I'm a deity. Experience myself in the palace, a magnificent palace in the Satyug. Back, I am at confluence age, listening to Murli. And back, I am at the center of my forehead. Experience angelic form on the globe, giving vibrations of peace to the entire world. Let's go to the subtle regions, taking drishti from Brahma Baba. Come down to the history hall, where Brahma Baba gave us Sakarvanis. And back, I am on my seat, where I am listening the Vek Murli. Okay, so this was a quick drill of mind. How quickly we are able to switch focus from one place to another. So thanks all for joining, and yeah, let's meet some other day. Om Shanti, have a great day, and happy planning your timetable. Om Shanti.